Hello students, welcome to virtual classroom. Today we will study new chapter number 10, Human Health and Diseases. In this chapter we will cover concept of immunology, then structure of antibody, antigen antibody complex, types of immunity and pathogen and parasites which are responsible for diseases, cancer and AIDS and adolescence issues like drug and alcohol abuse. First, we'll discuss what is health and hygiene. Health does not simply mean absence of disease or physical fitness. If you define health, it is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. In hygiene, it is a science of health. Aim of hygiene is preserving, maintaining, and improving the health of an individual or the community as a whole. Good health means balanced diet, personal hygiene, regular exercise, right attitude of mind, good habits. All these are important to achieve good health. What is disease? It is a condition or disrupted, deranged functioning of one or more organs or organ systems of the body, caused by infection or by defective diet, that is a poor diet, or heredity. Then immunity or immune system, the system which protects us from various foreign bodies, and these foreign bodies are called as infectious agents. Resistance, it is the ability to ward off damage or disease through our defense mechanism. Immunology, it is a science which deals with the study of immune system and immune responses to foreign substances and their role in resisting infection. There are a number of branches of immunology, like clinical immunology. It deals with vaccination, organ transplant, organ grafting, blood banking, and immunopathology. Then comes laboratory immunology. It deals with testing of cellular immune function. Serology, it is culturing of samples. Now first study human immune system. So human immune system consists of lymphoid organs and tissues which are widely distributed cells or molecules like antibodies. An immune system can differentiate between self and non-self cells and foreign bodies. Means we have ability to differentiate between our own cells and foreign cells, that is foreign microbes. Then here new terms we need to understand: antigen and antibodies. Antigen, any foreign substance invading body and capable of stimulating immune response, is called antigen. And protective chemicals which are produced by immune cells in response to antigens, they are called antibodies. So then what is immunity? It is a broad concept. It is in general ability of a body to recognize, to neutralize, to destroy and to eliminate foreign substance or to resist a particular infection or a disease. So as the age advances, immunity also changes of an individual. When during the initial stages, that is from childhood to adulthood, immunity maintains, but as age advances, immunity goes on decreasing. Coming to types of immunity, there are two types of immunity: innate, that is inborn, and acquired. Acquired is again of two types: active and passive. Active acquired immunity again of two types: artificial and natural. And passive acquired immunity is again of two types: natural and artificial. So we'll discuss one by one. First, innate immunity. It is natural, present from birth. It does not depend on previous exposure to foreign bodies. And it consists of barriers like anatomical, physiological, etc. First is anatomical. It prevents entry of microbes into body, skin and mucous membrane. Then physiological, like body temperature, pH of the body secretions, which prevent growth of many invading pathogens. For example, fever, it inhibits microbial growth. Gastric juice, it kills bacteria. Then the lysosome, which is a bacterial enzyme present in our tear glands, it kills bacterial cell wall. Then interferons, which are glycoproteins. These are cells infected with virus releases interferons, which make surrounding cells resistant to viral infection. Then third is phagocytic barriers. They bring about phagocytosis, like neutrophils and monocytes. They collectively called as macrophages. What they do? They engulf cellular debris, example, Kupffer cells of liver. Then inflammatory barriers, means tissue injury causes such as pain, swelling, it produces heat, then fever. So it is called inflammatory response, and it releases histamines and prostaglandins, which comes in contact with blood and kills bacteria. Now damaged mast cell of connective tissue releases prostaglandins and histamines. So how this inflammatory response takes place? An infection or injury occurs and often it causes redness, swelling, pain and the production of heat, and it may result in fever also. So such localized manifestation is called inflammatory response. This response is due to release of certain chemicals like histamines and PG, that is the prostaglandins, by damaged mast cell of the connective tissue and basophils of blood. So these chemicals dilate and make the blood capillaries more permeable in the region of tissue injury, and hence the vascular blood fluids comes out of the blood vessels and it contains serum proteins which ultimately kills the bacteria. So in this way mast cell perform this function. Second type is acquired immunity. It is the ability of the body to defend itself against invading foreign agents and transplanted tissues. It is called specific resistance and it is acquired during lifetime, and it is found only in vertebrates. Features of acquired immunity are: first, specificity. It has ability to differentiate various microbes, therefore it is specific for each type of pathogen. Then diversity. It can recognize vast variety of diverse pathogens. Then discrimination between self and non-self. Then memory. If immune system encounters a specific pathogen first time, it generates immune response. If same pathogens encounters second time, then its memory retains and responds in a quicker and stronger way. Types of acquired immunity. Two types are there, active and passive. So first, acquired active immunity. It is a resistance developed by an individual as a result of an antigenic stimulus of invading pathogens or vaccines. We have again two types here, natural and artificial. In case of natural acquired active immunity, immunity acquired due to infection or developed after the entry of pathogen in body. Example, measles. Then artificial acquired active immunity, it is acquired artificially by vaccination. For example, BCG, polio, then hepatitis B, etc. Next type is acquired passive immunity. It is acquired when ready-made antibodies are received by the body. Again we have two types, natural acquired passive immunity and artificial acquired passive immunity. So natural acquired passive immunity, we can see before birth maternal antibodies, they are transferred from mother to fetus through placenta. But after birth Antibodies are transferred from mother to infant through colostrum, that is immunoglobulin A. And antibodies thus received by child from mother remain in the body for shorter time. Next is artificial acquired passive immunity. It is developed by injecting previously prepared antibodies using serum from animals or human beings. Example, antibodies from horses used in humans against rabies. Then now we'll study cells involved in acquired immunity. So two types of cells basically involved in acquired immunity. These are lymphocytes and antigen presenting cells. First we'll see lymphocytes. Lymphocytes, these are chief cells of specific immune system and they are trillion in number. And two types are found, T cells and B cells lymphocytes. So both lymphocytes produce from stem cells in bone marrow by the process of hematopoiesis. Immature lymphocytes, they are termed as thymocytes and they migrate via blood to thymus, that is the T lymphocytes. So B lymphocytes, they divide, they mature in bone marrow itself and circulate in body fluids, and they reside in lymphoid organs like spleen and lymph nodes. Now functions of these T lymphocytes are responsible for cellular immunity, while B lymphocytes, they generate antibody mediated immunity. Now we'll see the mechanism of action of T lymphocytes. See in this picture, T cells. One T cell is there. So on coming in contact with an antigen, a T lymphocytes form a clone of T cells, which are similar but they perform different functions. And they are of four types. First is T helper T cells, then killer T cells, suppressor T cells and memory T cells. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see 4 T lymphocytes are there. So first, helper T cells. Sensitized helper T cells produce lymphokines for performing several types of functions like proliferation of other T cells. Then killer T cells, they directly attack and destroy invading microbes, infected body cells and cancer cells also. Then third, suppressor T cells. These cells suppress entire immune system to attack on the own body cells. Then memory T cells. These cells were previously sensitized and retain the sensation for future. Second type of cells, they are antigen presenting cells. These cells, they are specialized cells, include macrophages, B lymphocytes, dendritic cells, example Langerhans of epidermis of skin. What they do, they engulf invading pathogens and process the antigen. Now these processed antigen are able to then deliver a co-stimulatory signal, which is necessary for helper T cell activation. Next is structure of antibody. Antibody is a Y-shaped structure. It consists of 4 polypeptide chains, 2 heavy chains and 2 light chains. Heavy chains, they are also called as H chains, while light chains, they are called as L chains. The 4 polypeptide chains, they are held together by disulfide bonds, and the region holding arms and stem of antibody is termed as hinge. So each chain of the antibody includes 2 distinct regions. One is variable region, another constant region. Variable regions constitute the antigen binding site. Here in this figure you can see, in the second figure, antigen binding site, below you can see. So this part of antibody recognizes and binds to the specific antigen, forming an antigen antibody complex. And most of the antibodies, they carry at least 2 binding sites, so therefore they are called as bivalent. What they are called as? Bivalent. Next is antigen antibody complex. A branch of immunology which deals with the study of antigen antibody interactions is called serology. Each antibody is specific for a particular determinants and reacts with the corresponding antigen binding sites of antibodies, and they are called as paratopes. So the antigen binding sites are located on the variable regions of the antibody. Small variation in the variable regions makes each antibody highly specific for a particular antigen, and the variable region enables the antibody to recognize the specific antigens and binds to a specific antigen in a lock and key manner, and thus forms a antigen antibody complex. In this figure you can see how the T cells, they are forming antigen antibody complex. Now next is antigen on blood cells. Antigen on human blood cells are A and B. Its corresponding antibodies are small a and small b. So ABO blood group system are determined by presence or absence of antigen A and antigen B. And we have 4 types of blood groups, that is blood group A, B, AB and O. Individuals with blood group O, they are called as universal donor. Individuals with blood group AB, they are called as universal recipient. Now Rh factor, it is an antigen, that is antigen D, which is present on surface of RBC, and it is first found in rhesus monkey. So person with Rh factor are Rh positive, while person without Rh factor are Rh negative. So in the figure you can see different types of human blood groups. So blood group A individuals, they are with A antigen on the surface of their red blood cells and small b antibodies in their plasma. Similarly, blood group B, individuals with this blood group, they have B antigen on their surface of RBCs and small a antigen in their plasma. Individuals with blood group AB, they have both antigens, that is antigen A and B on the surface of their RBCs and no antibodies in their plasma. While blood group O, individuals with blood group O, they lack antigen A and B on the surface of their RBC and show presence of both small a and small b, that is antibodies in their plasma. So during blood transfusion, only the compatible blood can be used. The one who gives blood is called donor and the other who receives the blood is called recipient. So this is the human blood group system. When we see Rh factor, it is an antigen D present on surface of red blood cells and it was found in rhesus monkey first time. So it is named as rhesus or Rh factor, and person with Rh factor, they are called Rh positive, and those without Rh factor, they are called Rh negative. So Rh factor is important in blood transfusion process. It includes a strong immunogenic response when introduced in Rh negative individuals. When Rh negative mother bears Rh positive fetus. Listen carefully. When Rh negative mother bears Rh positive fetus, it results in hemolytic disease of newborn, which is a fatal condition and called as erythroblastosis fetalis. So this is all about today's lecture. I hope you have understood today's topic. In the next video, we will study different human diseases. Till then, take care. Goodbye.